Okay, gorgeous ones. How is everyone tonight? Welcome to the Boar Fest. And there's one little thing I think I need to do, which is take the Chrome tab off for just a moment. And the reason is that I need to get the YouTube stream on another window so I can see the chat. And then I'm going to push it over as far as I can. How far should I push it over here? Can make it smaller. I think that's about right. That'll keep me in touch there. And then bring the chart up. And let's see if the chart will stay with the Chrome tab. Chrome tab. Okay, it does. Go OK. Here, and then there it's situated. And because I'm on mic, I'll go ahead and close that window off there. Okay. All right. Yo, yo, yo to the yo, yo, yo for you. I made it. How is everyone? How are all of my gorgeous ones? My streamers and dreamers and broadcasters and forecasters. How are you this evening? So we're going to watch the chart for a little bit because we are coming into kind of a critical downward cycle. Price is underneath a pretty massive upward trending resistance line, which gave us those higher prints that we had earlier today. And then there's a little bit of a tumble and a fumble that's brought the components down underneath the trend line, and now they are struggling to stay in a non-cross. Cross, of course, we will have probably enough velocity for there to be a what I call a rather swift reckoning of price. And we're at 38,624 right now, and I can't give you a forecast of what that price might be. We just have to wait for the cross to take hold. We're already down 1.55% on the session. So as I'm going through this scandal talk, we will just keep the chart awake. I also have it on a 5-minute, so you're not going to be seeing like a lot of action. You'll see it though in the depth of market on the right. So the chart on the left is the Bitfinex BTC USD pair, not the never mind. It's the Bitfinex if you wanted to follow along. Bitfinex BTC USD 5-minute pair. On the 60-minute fixed, you put an 8 and a 41 EMA, and you can look at, I believe, I kept it as a pinned post, I believe, and you can see the channel maybe a little bit better. Okay, so let me take the OBS window down as my run of show and keep an eye on the stream settings. And we're already 12 minutes in, so I'm thinking we're probably going to be together for an hour or so. I went through the news cycle, and then I heard someone on YouTube. You know, I get these things in my mind because I listen to these. It's late, right? I listen to these friggin' gurus, man. The gurus, like, oof. Man, they get into my head. They really get into my head. I have no idea why. Oh my God. But telling me about evergreen content and why reading the news is boring and nobody wants to hear the news, and I'm like, wow, I see. But we're going to sit around and listen to you and your fancy stories, which is news, by the way. And I'm like, I guess really that the word news is like wrong or something, that it should be current affairs. Well, let's talk, and we're going to talk about current affairs then, okay? Like the scandals, the charity scandals on YouTube. If you want that kind of news, because isn't it kind of crazy that YouTube has got a blog and there's some things that are like newsy, but there's not really a news thing. Social Blade, those numbers are wrong. The gurus are telling us so you can't get your news from there. Like there's no, the nitty gritty. The nitty gritty, we have to find it from all of these other odd happenings. So, welcome to Scandals, Creators, and Charity. Yip yap. Little chit chat from me. So, this is kind of what's happening today. Apparently, there are more people that are going into the prior videos and trying to kind of do some calculations on their own. And I kind of looked at the pain of what you'd have to go through, and because so many of these are very long form. Isn't that clever, right? You keep them long form, 2-hour, 4-hour videos. And, it's kind of hard. And then I was looking, I was like, well, this is kind of weird. Did they not, because I don't know this for sure, if you turn off your super chats, if they stay with the chat, I do know that if you do any kind of editing, that takes immediately, right? Your chat has been, it gets deprecated if you make any changes to your video on the editing side, right? On the timeline, if you make any changes, there goes your chat. So that would give reason as to why maybe a chat would be gone. You can hide the chat. When I say they can, you can hide the chat, just looking at different ways that you can kind of keep an eye maybe on charity scams, that they may use some of the tools that YouTube provides in order to deprecate, hide, things that would make it very difficult for them, for even them to restore what had happened. Except for, we know that YouTube, being that I believe it was somewhere between $8 and $10 billion, if not more, this last earnings that they disclosed the amount of money that they distribute to creators. You can't just make an announcement like that without some bookkeeping. And if you have $1 of bookkeeping, you will have $8 billion worth of bookkeeping, and the same in reverse. If you have $10 billion in bookkeeping, you are going to have $9 billion in bookkeeping. So you get the gist. So we know that YouTube, and if we were to just kind of look at best practices, when you're looking at a creator and they've decided that they want to go this charity route and they want to collect the charity donations through Super Chat, your join button, or PayPal. Teespring has an auto drop, I believe. And that they want to do it that way, and of course their merchandise, that they want to do it through the merchandise, then the scandal here is that you have not given up your right to information. You just haven't. So if you look at the way that YouTube does things, then as a creator, why wouldn't you want to do things the YouTube way? Because then you can come out and say, okay, we're going to have a meeting of the minds. We do this every so often because this is an ongoing charity. And so every third Thursday, we go through, we look at the books, we see what people are interested in, especially like on the merchandising, like what are the t-shirts that you'd like to buy? What kind of mug designs do you have? How much more information can we get from the charity itself? Maybe learn a little bit more about how the charity is run, and we do this every, third Thursday of the month. You would do that, right? Because, see, YouTube actually has meetings, right? They have their accounting meetings. Every 3 months they have to reveal their earnings, and so they have earnings calls where questions are asked and they are not deferred. They are asked and answered. There is not this whole hideous comebacks, kind of like this the coming out of clause when you ask for, information about the charity. Okay, something crazy's going on here. Into market. That was a big sell. Oh boy. Well, like I said, so we're getting very close to the cross. We do have some risk takers coming in here, but we've got some big sales coming in. A $2 million position. Liquidated longs are coming in, so just as we thought. Welcome to my world. Okay, we'll kind of keep an eye on it though, okay? Alright, just like I said. Okay. Alright, let me bring that down a little bit. Just don't want my stream to get weird when I start moving these windows around, but I guess everything looks good from there. So, as a creator, and I think what we'll do probably is go to YouTube and see what their best practices are. The guidance that they actually encourage, and the way in which they lay it out according to best practices, so that you can avoid all of this, because there are some wonderful creators in which there is no scandal. There might be rumors about how someone won a prize, and there might be things that they have to come up with, but they're dealt with right away. This particular creator has decided that they would rather drag it on. And there, I guess, have been questions coming 2 to 3 years in the making. And so Tuesday, they are going to be going live with a preacher kind of a person, someone that is believed to be a very godly person, and they are going to be talking it out in front of the community to reconcile, I hope. I mean, that's really all that's needed. And then after that, then they can spend some time patching up their community, which is rather fractured. The drama community, or the DC community of YouTube, is in a shambles. And in fact, if you are looking for a community, because I think that the drama community in a way lost its import. Number one, they're not that funny, right? A good roasting, I suppose. I've never found them funny, me personally, but whether it's a good roasting, they're going to roast a person, they're going to go back through, their early YouTube, and okay, so maybe, but the drama community it does this horrible you know, finding creators that come on in drunken stupors, and then they talk about that. They look for creators that are getting divorced or have had open arguments. They do, it seems to me that they do avoid going into what would be considered the YouTube family vlogger drama. They do not go into family vlogger drama, from what I can tell. But if you are an individual on YouTube and you are doing things that would be considered rather, off task to being a good creator, for example, being inebriated, meeting up with a boyfriend, being married, meeting up with a boyfriend, and those kinds of things. And this is what they feed. The community is fed through these stories, right? These life stories. And this is a very dysfunctional family, but it is a big family. There are tens of thousands of creators in this community, and they are active all week long. Most of them are monetized. Most of them have join buttons. So these are, what I would consider thriving. It's a thriving topic. And I'm thinking that if you were a creator that could somehow, I don't know, like make it more pleasant or something. I don't know. I guess I really don't know how that would happen, but it seems to me like there's a great opportunity. Okay, it looks like the trade got picked up here. So that's a very interesting pickup. As you can see, it looks as though the 841 does not went across. So even though this is a 5-minute, we're getting like a 5-minute doji. So this can either be the rest and pause. It can also be the end of a cycle, and we're gearing up for a reversal. How long that reversal lasts, no one ever really knows, but there's usually some sort of upside cycle that will happen. And we can see, of course, that Ruby did not close short and right underneath this massive trend line. So what will happen? Will price decide that it wants to keep on trend? On trend, we're looking at 39,600 on trend. Do people feel as though Bitcoin should be in the 30? We're at 38. I'm sorry, 39,200. I'm sorry, and then 39,600. So, we're going to see what's. Oh, let me just relax for a moment. I know too much. So this is what's happening, okay? The market really, it appears to me that, if we can maintain 40, we'll get 60. And because we're not having some sort of really just a heinous rejection of 40, that, and this close to that trend line, that it's going to take some real sellers to drive the market down, which it can. It's the weekend. It can happen just by the sheer weight of the market. And but as far as the indicators are concerned, if you were looking at this right now, we do not have an 841 cross underneath this massive trend line just yet, even though we do have downward pressure. So it's if this, then, and that, right? We get the cross, there's going to be downward pressure. The closer that the cross was coming in, of course, you saw the downward pressure. Lots of people. There were some liquidations. There were several $1 million worth of Bitcoin that was sold off. and it makes sense when you're this close, and there's these other things that are telling you that the market is kind of a little bit softer. Okay, let me stay on task as far as my timeline is concerned and make sure that I do a re-welcome for the rewind players because we're 30 minutes in. Welcome you guys, yo yo yo, to the yo yo yo. Phew, I made it. Hi gorgeous ones, welcome to StreamYard _wow, which is the only reason that you would come here, is to get your little butt downstairs into the description and join StreamYard. You're going to see a link. It's going to say StreamYard.com lardy-lar equals upgrade. And that's because I want you to upgrade your life. I want you to learn how to use StreamYard, get involved with StreamYard, and begin to raise your voice. Let the world know what's on your mind. What are the things that you're interested in? What are the things that you've learned about? What kinds of conversations are you having with your chums? What have you done for yourself? What books are you reading? What things have you learned how to do with your hands? What new tools did you decide that you would invest in? All of these sorts of life things that I will tell you over time. When you have a YouTube channel, that over time it actually becomes very cool. So hold on just a moment. Hold on. Okie dokie. Ooh, 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 ooh. We're looking at some selling. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right. Well, I guess we better pay attention here, huh? Let's pay attention. I don't know if anybody's going to come over from the Bitcoin community. Just, I don't know. Okay, so you're going to get your cute little butt down to the description. You're going to grab the link that goes lardy-lar equals upgrade, StreamYard.com, lardy-lar equals upgrade, and you're going to join StreamYard. You're going to choose from one of the two paid tiers, and then once you do that, race back over and let me know that that's what you've done, and then connect with me and let me see what you've got going on, and where you think that you want to take your content, because you can take it anywhere that you would like. It's so cool. And recently, in the this past week, there is a new video sharing feature. I did a screenshot and I also did a little demo of it. It is absolutely beautiful. So if you are a movie maker or you are a videographer and you have MP4 files saved, you can load them up and play them on StreamYard in the most exquisite quality. So you have to check it out, okay? You really have to check it out. If you go over to my Twitch, you'll always see some of the things that I'm doing with StreamYard. So I do StreamYard exclusively over on Twitch, okay? Here on Twitter, it's a little different because I'm trying to capture, maybe find myself brave enough to push out some shorts, and I'm always looking and seeing where there might be opportunities for shorts, you know, for something to be interesting enough to become a short. I know that there are market talk people, talking heads that over at TikTok. I know that for sure. But I haven't run across, like, I don't know who they are, so I haven't seen any TikToks yet, but I can imagine. Been in the market long enough to know that they're probably more infomercial kind of ideas, but I have not seen them yet, so might be something there for us to look at. So that's why we're kind of keeping the charts up, because you never know. I might start crying on mic like I did at 5,000. I cried out loud like a baby. I cried out loud like a baby when we were at 10,000. And I have not cried like a baby since then. You start to kind of become more available to price increase. And I think in those early days, there's a lot of pent-up angst. A lot of us had been with the market for a good long while, and every day grinding it out every single day, going through some very, very hard times. And so I think I just kind of collapsed on mic when we hit 5,000. This particular 60 days that I'm bringing you and showing you a chart every day is really just by happenstance. I still get questions every day about the market, but the time for me to bring, my ideas to YouTube have long passed their window of liveliness. So that's why we're just when I come on, I'm just going to talk about StreamYard and the nutty things that are going on out there in YouTube land. So there you go with that. That's what's going on. Okay, we got a couple 5-minute weird candles, very spindly candles. 2 doji, so that's 10 minutes of doji. Looks like it was trying to seek a low, and now we're getting a little bit of reaction off of that price point of 30. I wish I could tell you what the precise low was, but it would have been 38.3 maybe? 38.3. Let me see if they're going to give me the low. 38.128 is the low now. 38.128 in this bar was the low, so I needed to catch the bar before to give you the low. So you can see that the market is reacting to those lower price points, the 38.2, 38.3 area. There's nothing too significant in that price point. just the softness and a little bit of reversal. Cannot tell you. We still do not have a cross, but we're going through. It's called the Cobra's Kiss that you've heard me speak about. That's where there's literally a hissing. If we were looking at this in the micro charts, there's literally where the 8 and the 41 are kissing one another. It's called a Cobra's Kiss. The price is literally flicking back and forth as it's making the indicators are becoming very hyper reactive to the price activity as the EMAs bounce around or flicker off of one another. And yes, that should be coded, the Cobra's Kiss. You know, where you get like a notification. Yeah. No notifications. Well, this is going to be kind of interesting then, to see this come about. And I'm still on mic, right? Yeah? Okay, good enough. Good. So the market is having mixed reactions now. These massive sells, though, $1.7 million in coin just being sold off. So I'll just read some of these off, even though I hope you guys can see them. 192, 456, 188, 102, 1.7 million, 183, 227, 191, 163. These are all sales. So they're not buying into this, and they're starting to get very skittish. They want to get ahead of the short if they possibly can. 227,000, 163,000, 170, 117,000, 191,000. I already read the 1.7 million. So they're just trying to, be a little ahead if the trade goes short. The buys coming in, 254, 164, 194 in sequence. That's interesting. 254, 164, 194. So those orders, 157, 188, 365. So here are the buyers that like these lower prices. They do not believe that the cross is going to happen and that the trend line will be the holding force. 440,000, 474, 403, 152. A lot more buys. 365, 188. So we have some nice buyers. 429 coming in, 135 coming in. A nice buy at 562. More buys, 156, 176, 192, 141. And the sellers have kind of backed off just a little tiny bit here with more buying. 674,000, 123, 411,000. So the buyers are enjoying these lower prints and enjoying that outcome there. Let's see what the sellers are going to do here. 303,000, 111,000. But of course the buyers come in. They still enjoy these prices. 108,000, 263, 251, 131, 141, and some sellers coming in. They're not buying it. They're thinking they might be in trouble here, and so they'll be willing to go ahead and get out. 500, 138, 348, 157. Buyers coming in. A nice buyer at 741,000, 223,000, and now a nice run of sellers also. So very active bar in the 5 minute here at 11:57, almost three minutes away from the midnight hour, which will take us to February 7th, 2021, the day of the Super Bowl. Okay, buyers at 139, 384. Decent enough seller at 480,000. And let's see what we can do with the buyers coming in. 549,000. 181. So decent enough buying going on in this bar. At 181,000, 451,000. Congratulations to that buyer. And of course, a few sellers coming in. Only 3 sellers, one at 600, 200, and 135,000. Lovely buyer at 400,000, 186,000. So very interesting. And we are still yet not to see the cross. So we are getting what is called the Cobra's Kiss at the most unique time of day and night with the chart. Okay, let me put my OBS down, and we are trading at 38,418, down 2.08%, and we are experiencing a little bit of volatility at the lower prices. So welcome, welcome. At 4:44 minutes into the stream, I'm going to do another yo to my gorgeous ones. Thank you very much. This is BeautyBubble here over at StreamYard. Wow. Bringing you scandals, creators, and charity. So I don't kind of know much I'm going to be able to speak about it. The only reason that you would be here, honestly, the only reason that you would kind of stumble in to my content would be to get your cute self down below into the description box and join StreamYard.com YardyYar upgrade, and go ahead and make a decision for yourself. There are 2 tiers of decision that you can make, and once you do that, come on over and connect with me and let me know what you plan on doing with your streaming, like your love of the stream, right? What you plan on talking about, what kinds of things you're interested in, and, are there people that you'd like to model? Are there people that you would like to meet? Do you need help? What kind of help do you need? And that sort of thing. So I would love for that to happen with you guys. Okay. And did you notice how that all switched over there like that? What's that all about? What is that all about? Okay, I'm going to do another welcome. Oh, well, that doesn't work, does it? What happened? Bring that back up. Bring that back up. Okay, there we go. That OBS, if you move that window around, you're going to be really messed up. It's starting to behave kind of funny too. All right, let's get back to the chart while I'm with you with a few more minutes. With you here, we have some sellers, 606, 291, 358 respectively at the $1,000. 188, a buyer at 740,000. Congratulations on that. A lovely buyer coming in at 1 million. Another buy at $1 million. Another buy at $1 million. And the 4th $1 million buyer. Congratulations. So they are enjoying those lower prints, and if they do believe, even though we do have a cross short, we knew that would engage some volatility. They don't mind that volatility because they know very quickly that the trade can be carried up to one of the EMAs. It literally gets hoovered up to an EMA. So they could be looking at a very quick trade, a lovely pickup from the lows, and it will take it up to one of the EMAs. So let's see if they're able to pull that off. But it is not going to be without a fight, because the sellers are going to come in, and they can come in with those big buys, hold on to the chart, hold on to the price for 9 minutes, 90 seconds even, and then they will go ahead and begin to shave off their position. Too many S's in that little bit of conversation here on YouTube. Thank you very much. You've been listening to BeautyBubble, and this is StreamYard. Wow, I hope you're enjoying yourself as we're having a little bit of fun here with the Bitcoin chart. 49 minutes into the stream right now, so we'll stay with you for another 10 minutes and scoot on out once we've been with you for 60 minutes. And so sorry that I was off mic. A lovely buy at $3.18 million coming in through the Bitfinex. Thank you very much. And further longs happening, further buys coming in to bumper that buy. 108,000, 247, 234, 200, 135,000. A nice buy at 570,000, followed by a $148,000 buy. So as you can see, this move is probably going to behave in a very fractal method. So you have your buyers coming in, and then you have your rather weaker hands going ahead and selling into that. And so you have a 192, 381, 276, 118, and so forth and so on. And then the second leg comes in at 466 to the upside, 107, 116, followed by additional sales. So you'll notice that there's like buys coming in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 sells coming in, followed by 4 sales coming in, and you can see kind of how the market does this beautiful ebbing and flowing, or beautiful dance. It's a dance of fractal, 2 steps ahead, 3 steps back, 5 steps ahead, 4 steps back, and so forth and so on like that. And that's what's happening in a very fast-moving market right now, coming off of this very interesting low. And so we shall see how the EMAs are going to reconcile themselves when they come racing down and through a trend line like they did. It can get rather raucous and can take either more time for the EMAs to reconcile, or there are other, of course, components of Ruby that tell me what the health is of any continued short. But so just stay to price when you're with me. We just look at the chart, stay to price, try and get into the rhythm of the market a little bit, and learn about how all the different factors that you have to consider, and so that you're well guided, right? This is just all about getting into a rhythm and knowing what you're looking at and having a good chart in front of you so that right? You know it really well, like you know every single point of reason, right? As unreasonable as the market is, it is not all unreasonable, like you will hear some people say. It is just that man is weak and lazy and cheap, and a lot of people are losers. They have to have it in order to get the attention that they need. The attention that you get isn't all positive when you know how to do this well. There's a lot of resentment and hostility and weird things that happen. So a lot of times people, at least that are expressing themselves audibly, you'll start to learn about them, and basically they have other ideas about what winning is, and that gets them into these ideas about the market. Okay, I think we are almost at our ending point here, 51 minutes in, so I think that's what I'll do right now. And thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. There's greatness and goodness in all of us, each and every one of us, and how much I appreciate you goes beyond measure. It certainly does. And so you've been listening to StreamYard Wow that for 90 days. I keep saying 90 days. I guess I'm going to be here for 90 days, but for 60 days every day from 15 minutes to an hour-ish, I'm going to be just talking to you about what interests me. This is not where I'm feeding into your Hunger Games. I'm going live so that I can speak about StreamYard and earn my wings with StreamYard, and what's really kind of cool is that as I'm talking about StreamYard, like it is, hot, right? I don't have to convince you or anyone else on the planet Earth that over two and a half years ago, but over 2 years ago, when I told you to get involved with StreamYard, you may have wanted to wise up. And so I'm just trying to catch up the rear. Who else is out there? Who else might be kind of lingering and on the fence and all of that, thinking that I don't really know, what should I do? Maybe you'll stumble on my content and go, you know what? Beauty really has not steered me wrong in any of the things that she's brought to market, air quote, brought to the market. And I might want to take a look at StreamYard, and it may just be that thing that you need in order to just kind of lock yourself in to sharing your story with your future audience. It's all been a pleasure. Thank you very much, and I will talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye now. Clippity clip. Clippity clippity clip. There was one thing I wanted to do for this segment, and that was I want to go into the text. What I'm going to do is say I'm going to be back in 24 hours. Actually, I should say 22 hours. And I'm going to put 17 hours. In 17 hours. There we go. And move it back down here. I didn't want to move that guy out of the way. Come here and come down here. And there we go. And the Chrome tab, move him back over so I know he's here. And close him out. And I think that does it. Razzmatazz. Okay, guys. Bye-bye now.